Hello everyone, my name is Preeti Chandrasekharan and this is my project on the essentials of Python programming, which I completed as part of my data science and business intelligence internship at AINE AI. So in this project, I created a game where the user can choose whether they want to play rock, paper, scissors or rock, paper, scissors, lizard, and Spock. The relationship between the different actions, rock, paper, scissors, lizard, and Spock, can be seen here, and so we will use these relationships while building the game. So here are the objectives of this project. And now going into the code, we start by importing the random module. So the random module will be used when we choose the computer's actions in the game to randomize it and make it more fun and interesting and really emulate a real rock, paper, scissors game. And so here in the next block, we have a while loop. So the while loop is basically going to allow us to keep continuously starting new rounds of the game. And if the user wants to quit the game, they'll be asked at the end of each round if they want to quit. And if they do, they can enter the letter Q and we will break out of the loop, which we will see later on in the code. So in the first lines here, we ask the user which game they want to play. So their choices are 1 if they want to play rock, paper, scissors, and the user can enter 2 if they want to play rock, paper, scissors, lizard, and Spock. And so after displaying these choices to the user, we accept the user's input, the user's choice, using the input function, and we store their choice in a variable called gameChoice. Now next we check if the user entered a valid digit because our options are numbers, so we want to make sure that the user entered a number. So we do this using the isDigit function. And if the user did not enter a valid digit, then we display the message, "You have not entered a valid choice." And then using the continue keyword, we skip the rest of this iteration of the loop and we go to the beginning and start a new one, and we display the options again to the user, and then we give the user the chance to enter a valid choice. And if the user did enter a valid choice, then it goes into the else block. And here we convert the user's choice from a string to an integer using this int function, and we save it again in the gameChoice variable. Next, after we've checked if the user entered a valid digit, we have to check whether they entered a valid choice because we don't accept all numbers. We are looking for the user's choice of either 1 or 2. So we check if the user has entered 1 or 2. And this is done using the not in keywords. And so if the user did not enter a number that was 1 or 2, similarly, we display the message, "You have not entered a valid choice," and we use the continue keyword to go to the next iteration and start again. Now, if the user did enter a valid choice, then we really start the game. So if the choice was 1, that means the user wanted to play rock, paper, scissors. So we ask the user to enter their move in the game, and we show them their options, rock, paper, scissors, and we accept their input and store it in a variable called player1action. And just to avoid case sensitivity, we convert their choice into all lowercase. So for example, if I entered capital ROCK, it would be converted to lowercase and it would still work, regardless of what kind of casing you use for your choice. And then here we have the user's action, and now we move on to the computer's action. So in this game, player 1 is the user and player 2 is the computer. So here we store all of the possible actions in this list called actions list, and then here is where we use the random module. So we use a function called randint, and this will choose a random integer between 0 and 2 inclusive. So that means it'll choose a random integer from either 0, 1, or 2. And we use this random number as the index of actions list, and this will help us choose a random move for the computer. For example, let's say this function gives a random number of 0. Then we take 0 as the index of actions list, and we'll see that it takes us to rock. So that means that player 2's action, or in this case the computer's action, will be rock. And so similarly, this is how the randint function will be used to keep randomly choosing indexes, and that will determine what the computer's move is. So up until here, we've gotten the user's action and the computer's action in the game. So we display these actions using the print statement here. Then we have to check who won. So first we check if both players chose the same action. In that case, we print out it's a tie. And then using else and nested conditional statements, elif and other nested conditional statements, we check who won the game. For example, here, if the computer played paper and the user played rock, then we display that paper covers rock and the user loses. Whereas if the computer played paper and the user played scissors, then we display the message scissors cuts paper and that the user won. Similarly, we cover all possible conditions. And so that ends the rock, paper, scissors game. And as you remember, the user can also enter 2 from the choices if they want to play rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. So in the case that they did choose 2, then here we have a very similar flow for playing rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. We accept the user's action, then we convert it to lowercase to avoid the case sensitivity. And then for the computer's action, we use randint again, and we have another actions list with all the possible actions. But here you'll notice a difference. Randint is from 0 to 4 inclusive because now we have 2 more possible actions, so our list is larger. Now we have 5 possible items. And so here we randomly choose the computer's action. And now that we have player 1 and player 2's moves, we display them. And then we check who won, and we make sure to cover all the possible conditions. Here you'll see there's many more conditions because we have 2 new actions, lizard and Spock, but the logic is the same. We use the nested conditional statements the same way. And so after the user has either played rock, paper, scissors or rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, then the game will ask them whether they would like to play another round, and the user enters Q if they want to exit, and the user enters Y if they want to keep playing. So we accept the user's choice, either Q or Y, and we also convert it to uppercase to avoid case sensitivity. So for example, if the user enters a lowercase q for exiting, we convert it to an uppercase and the code will still work. And so after converting the user's choice to uppercase, then we check if the user entered Y, which means they want to keep playing, we have the keyword pass, and so this is basically a null statement. So since the user wants to keep playing, we do no operation, and it'll automatically, the while loop will take us back to the beginning of the code and the user can play another round. Whereas if the user wants to stop playing and they've entered Q, we check using the elif block, and if the user did choose that they want to quit, then we print the message thanks for playing. And we use the break keyword, and what the break keyword will do is it will exit this high-level while loop here. It'll exit this while loop and stop the game. So here we will just run this code to see how it looks when we play the game. So here we have our options. Let's say we want to play rock, paper, scissors. So I'll enter 1. And so it's asking for my choice. And so I can enter mixed casing and it should still work. And here you can see it worked just fine. It took my choice as paper, and the computer also chose paper, which means that the result was a tie. And now it's asking if I would like to play another round. And so I'll say yes to keep playing. And so here we have our menu again, and this time I want to play rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, so I entered 2. And so it's asking for my choice, and so I choose Spock. And so here you can see my choice is Spock, and the computer randomly chose scissors. And since Spock smashes scissors, I won this round. And so again, it asks me if I would like to play another round of the game. This time I would like to exit the game, so I enter Q. And it says thanks for playing, and the game has ended. Thank you.